2,000 years after the departure of Jesus Christ, the prophets are back to teach the real Jews, the 12 tribes of Israel, their true nationality. This is their campaign.
The drugs that they send in the money, they come in and help pay the rent. They come in and get in mom's office a nice 2 G's, 5 G's. So mom don't say nothing. But she know her son is out there killing people and selling drugs. You understand? And she said, oh, he loved me. He loved me. You understand? But read go to Matthew 15 and 4. Matthew 15 and 4. That's what I want? Yeah.
Book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse 4. For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and thy mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
So this is what Christ said. You understand? Christ said, he that curseth mother or father, let him die the death. You understand? Because if you look in our community today, a lot of these young men, they curse their mother, they curse their father. You understand? Their mother and their father, they disrespect their parents. You understand? They're on the street, selling drugs, smoking weed, getting drunk. These young girls, they have no discipline, they have no manners with their parents. You understand? And that's what I see going on in our community today. You understand? Let me get Isaiah 3 and 12. You understand? And that's what's going on, and this got to change. You understand? Because when we talk about the word love, we ain't just talking about that emotional thing. Because your husband, guess what? What point of time he tell you he love you? You understand? He tell you you the only one for him and all of that. But you told the brother that you are divorced. You understand? And you by yourself probably right now, or you probably remarry, raising a kid. You understand?
No, I'm not.
So you will not remarry?
No, I'm not
So
remarried.
okay, so but you by yourself raising a kid by yourself, and guess
I'm
what?
not raising a kid anymore. He's 18.
Oh,
He's a grown man.
but you raised him though, right?
And
Correct?
his father did too. He was there his whole life.
Okay, all
He's
right.
not that story.
The book of Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
So a lot of times this is what goes on in our community. All right, God says his people, children are the oppressors, and women rule over them. Who is talking about us, the Israelites? Us, our community. When you look around our people, we are the ones that our women rule over us. You understand? We are the one where our children is our oppressors. When you see these old, I don't know if you always watch the news, you got old lady like you walking the street, and these young black men gonna walk up to you and knock you over the head and take your money from you. You understand? It's young black kids doing these stuff. You understand? And that's what God says. God says that, read that again.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
God says his people, children, won't be oppressing them. You understand? Their own children won't be oppressing them, you know?
And women rule over them.
And women rule over them. That's why you got that old saying that what? That the woman wear what? The woman wear the pants in the relationship. That's why a lot of brothers, I'm telling you all straight, you sisters, that's why a lot of brothers leave sisters, you understand? Because it's like two men, it's like a power struggle in the relationship. You understand? Because the woman come with this American doctrine that we are 50-50. Everything is 50-50. Now, brother, you saying it right. That's crap. You understand? The woman come with that we are 50-50 when God did not ordain it like that. You know that, right? You know God did not ordain it for 50-50, right?
Everybody is not obedient to God.
Oh, everybody is not obedient.
So
to
when
God.
a man is not present to be obedient to God, what is the woman to do? She still
Okay.
have to raise her children.
All right, so
We're looking at the laws.
not every time everybody's obedient to God. You understand? But still,
Men have been
things
ruling
is
the
not
home.
50-50.
Women's supposed to take care of the home. But that has not been the case. Women have to pull up and do the man's job because men just disappear in the family.
Okay, so let me show you something. It's not that men disappear.
That's not my case, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
I'm just saying, it's not to say that men disappear. You understand? This system, believe it or not, this system was designed to destroy young black men. You understand? This system was designed to destroy us. You understand? Because most men, this system is a trap. Most men end up in jail. You know, let me get that in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 42 and 20. Isaiah 42 or 52. Which one is it? Isaiah 42, 22. Got it?
The book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is talking about us. We are people robbed and spoiled. We don't.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
And we are hid in prison houses. Because the way how this system designed, guess what? They bring drugs into our community, and they already know that we are poor people. You understand? So what does the black man do? The black man goes sell drugs, sell crack to his own people. You understand? And guess what? It's like a trap. Let me get Isaiah 52 and 20. It's like a trap because what happened now? We selling the drugstore each other. Guess what? Guess what happened? We start fighting and killing each other for spots. Oh, this is my spot. You understand? And what also happened by us selling the drugs to each other and so forth is this. We end up getting arrested. We end up going to jail. End up doing 50, 20 years. You understand? So I know you probably know a couple people that either died or went to jail for crimes so-called crimes that they committed and so forth. You understand? But it's all a trap. It's the way how the system is designed. The system designed to lock our brothers up, put them in jail. So now you got a sister raising a kid by herself. You understand? And she got to be the man and the woman. But guess what? When you read back in the history, there was women that had to raise kids by themselves. You understand? But they still played the role of the woman and raised that kid without playing the role of a man. You understand?
No woman can ever be a man.
But
No woman can ever be a man. But at the same time, my mother raised 9 children, and none of my brothers ever been to jail. None of them.
None of them never
None
been
of
in
them
jail.
ever been to jail.
So that's good then. That's good because
So I think it's a choice. I think it's a choice.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
So
saying.
men do
That's
not
good.
have to leave their families.
That's what I'm saying. That's good. You understand me? Because it's a big, you got that right there? It's a big chance that most black men, you understand, whether it's a small percentage or, but the way Giuliani had set it up in New York is that if you don't get an ID in you, they're running you through the system. Every man, they try to put you through the system. You understand? And that's how it is. You understand? That's the way the system designed.
I think it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice
It's a
also.
choice.
You understand? Because if you live right, if you do obey God's laws,
I'm
you
not going to
understand
say
me?
that I've never committed a sin because I'll be standing here lying.
Yeah.
But what I will say was that I was raised by a strong woman, and none of my brothers ever been to jail.
All right, that's good. That's good, as I said. You understand? You know, because the way all this system is set up, it's to get young black men caught up in foolishness and lock them and throw away the key.
And as
That's
she-
the way all this system is
As
set
she
up.
said now, it's
You understand?
obedience. Because your brothers and maybe sisters listen to your parents. How many kids listen to their parents now in this country?
Well, this generation is different.
Right, this generation is different, but
It's different.
Because
But
all the
it-
Caribbean country people follow
but
the
we-
My
Bible,
son
the
is
beast.
The book of Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
we talking about this generation. Because my generation, you understand, I got an ass whipping. My pops, he said, listen, I don't want you to go to the party. If me and young, I want to go party, you understand? I jump through the window, you put the little pillow under the blankets and act like you still there. You know, so I did that when I was young, and I started sneaking back in the house, and I got caught. I got a whooping, you understand? I never did that thing again. But in this generation, it's different. You understand? And our parents back then, they used to teach us certain things and certain values, but them things is gone today. You understand? them things is gone today. So what we're reading about is the new generation of our people. You understand? In your age group when you was growing up, and in my age group, it's different from the age group today. These young kids, the Bible call them monsters. They're going to take your life without no remorse. You understand? Read.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
So God says the Israelites, their sons have fainted. To faint, it means to lose consciousness. All right? They what?
They lie at the head of all the streets.
If you look at all the heads of the streets, who we going to see chilling on the corner? Our people, our young black men and women chilling on the street corner. Chilling. You understand? Drinking and smoking and you understand? This is a prophecy about our people. Read on.
As a wild bull in a net, they are full of the fury of the Lord.
He says they are like a wild bull in a net. Why it says a wild bull? Because a wild bull, you can't control a wild bull. You understand? And the same thing with a lot of these young black men and women. You understand? Early on, this dude came up here, he said he's ready to kill us. You understand? He was ready to kill us because we tell him, listen man, you can't be selling drugs in the community. You understand? So he was ready to kill us. He said he coming back and he going for his gun and he going to put us out just like that. That's to show our people is monsters. And it's only the Most High God could change on some of our people, man. You understand? Real.
They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
I know people are drunken, but not with wine. You understand? What we are drunken with is the philosophies of America. You understand? Because America have taught us much lies. America has taught the woman that she's equal to the man. You understand? A woman could raise kids and be a strong woman without being equal to a man and trying to usurp authority over men. You understand? Because when you go to Corinthians, go to Corinthians and read that. And then go to verse 7. Corinthians 11. Yeah. Because this is what Christ said. Yeah, that's good.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
For the head of every man, every black man is Christ. You know what?
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is who?
Is the man.
So that's how God set it up. Alright? A lot of sisters just fight against that because why? Because a lot of brothers is weak. You know, a woman don't like weak men. You understand? But this captivity that we just coming out of, it have made our men weak. A lot of these black men is weak. You understand? Who men you know in the world that call a woman hoes? Does the white man call his females hoes? And bitches and so forth? No. But the black man does. You understand?
What about when the black man is just disappeared?
And exactly, a lot of brothers, let me tell you something with black men. A lot of brothers run from responsibilities. You understand? A lot of our men, you know how the white man call us boy? Come here, boy. A lot of us have a boy state of mind. You understand? So you gonna go lay down with a woman, and when she get pregnant, you out, you gone. You leave her alone to raise that baby by herself. You understand? But that's why God gave us this law. Let me get Exodus 22 and 16. That's why God gets something for everybody out here. The brother that like going and lie down with every woman, going and stick his penis in these different women and don't want to marry them, there's a law about that. Let me get that.
The book of Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
So if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed. Entice means a brother see a sister and he approaches and say, hey babe, how you doing? Talk to her, yo, you beautiful, so forth, and he got her number. You understand? So a brother, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, betrothed means she not promised to nobody. Alright? You know?
And lie with her.
And this man lie with her, meaning he had sex with her. You know?
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
God says what?
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So if a brother meets you, right? And he see you and he start talking to you like, damn, you're a beautiful sister, so forth, so on. you know, and you like him, you know what I mean, and he laid down with you and had sex with you. What God says about that?
So it's about with the wife.
God says, what God says about that? He's supposed to take you to be his wife. You understand? So he enticed you, he talked to you, he enticed you. You understand? You like him, you all lay down and have sex with each other. God says, that man's supposed to take you to be his wife. But amongst our people, we don't do that. A lot of these brothers, they go and they lay down with these females, with these women, and they just lay down with them and keep it moving. You understand? And that trend got to stop. That's why God says that. Let me get Hebrew 13 and 4. You understand? That's why God says this.
But sometimes the women choose to, you know, do what you want and keep going something.
Oh, women choose that too. Yeah. All right, yeah, let me get, for women that do that, let me show you this. Go to Deuteronomy 17. Deuteronomy 17 and, what's that?
You can walk away.
This is for the sisters that's like that, all right?
No. Yeah, listen, big man. Don't feel sorry for them because they don't feel sorry for us. Don't feel sorry for them.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17.
Because if a woman do what you just say, if she meets a man, lie down with him and have sex and keep it moving.
And she like it.
And she like it. What does that make? What's the modern day term for that?
Jezebel.
She's a what?
Jezebel.
She's a whore, Jezebel. All right, let me see what God says. Read.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
So God says of the daughters of Israel, which is the so-called blacks and Hispanics, people on that side, God says there shall be no whores of them. So sisters should not be living like that. You understand?
Yeah, right.
They shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. So you might as well, look, you know, it's doing that. You might as well eat pork.
Exactly, you know?
Yeah.
Scripture said the word
real,
Jesus
man.
is dead.
Big man, keep it real, man. Keep it real, big man.
Go where I was telling you to go.
She might as well eat pork. Yeah, you know.
Because this is the judgment,
listen,
right?
You want to acoustic and fornicate and this, that, and the song, you know, and then talk about what you don't eat.
All right, so this is the judgment, right? This is the judgment for a man that lied up with a woman and don't want to take her to be his wife, or a sister that lied up with a man and don't want to marry him. She like, I was just horny and I just wanted to have an orgasm. You understand?
Tell you what man should do.
So this is the judgment. This is the judgment of God. Read.
No.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
Read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all.
Read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all.
So God says marriage is an honorable thing.
Right.
You see when a man and a woman come together in the face of God? You understand? That's an honorable thing for a man and a woman to come together. You understand? Scripture says marriage is honorable. Marriage is honorable what?
Marriage is honorable in all.
All things, you know?
And the bed undefiled.
And the bed undefiled, meaning that sister ain't committing adultery, that brother is committing adultery. But read on.
But whoremongers.
But whoremongers, meaning a brother that want to have sex with every woman that he sees. You understand? Read on.
But whoremongers and adulterers.
And adulterers, meaning you want to commit adultery. Read on.
God will judge.
God will judge.
At the end of the day,
my question,
Yes,
right? My question, brother. How does God, it says, whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. My question to you is, how does God judge adulterers and whoremongers? Because in this society...
It should be merciless.
Huh?
It should be merciless.
Yeah, but I just want you to give me like in this society, how does God do it? You understand? Let me get Deuteronomy, you got it?
For me, one is when you get AIDS, or you get a VD, or you're dead.
That's it. Because guess what? Under the old covenant, right? Under the old covenant of Moses. What was done if you was caught in adultery?
Stone you to death.
You were stoned to death. But today, can we do that? No. You understand? Because if you look in our community, most of the people is in the midst of fornication and adultery. You understand? So how does we deal with this today? How does the Most High deal with it today?
It's modernized and bottles
Brother, this
no, that's a modern way
how the Most High deal with it today.
Bottles and
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
So God says every sickness and every plague that is not written in the book of the law, because when you read the Bible, you don't hear about syphilis. You don't hear about gonorrhea. You don't hear about AIDS. You understand? He said every sickness and every plague that is not written in the book of this law, read on.
Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So God says he's going to bring that upon us until we have been destroyed. Why he going to bring it upon us? If we break his laws. So you ever ask yourself, why is it there's a high HIV comes amongst black and Hispanics and gonorrhea and herpes amongst our people than other nations? You ever ask yourself why? It's the reason why, because the Most High God made a covenant with us. We told him we're going to keep his laws. You understand? We told him we're going to keep his laws. And he said, if you keep my laws, none of these curses will come upon you. You understand? But because we broke his laws, all these curses come upon us. That's why you see, we got that. You see, 1 out of 5 females have genital herpes. You understand? Believe it or not, but our people need to hear these things. You know, when you look, a lot of our people is HIV positive, living with that thing. You understand? I know a dude that's HIV positive. You understand? And that dude, what he does, you understand that dude? He say he let people know what he got and so forth, but I know he's lying. You know? I said, this is a matter. I said, bro, anytime I find out you doing that shit, I'm calling the cops on you. Because that's murder. You understand? That's murder, but I just showing you how evil our people is. You understand? I just showing you how evil our people is. God says adulterers and homosexuals.
That's what the case years ago. He let the man
How we
go
going
on
to judge
with
that? True how?
Remember years ago, the man, how many 16, 17, 20 people or something?
Two
The man
diseases.
with the thing, man.
Go back to where you was at again. Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13.
Marriage is honorable and all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. You understand? So when you're in the midst of adultery and you're in the midst of having sex, when brothers go and sleep with all these different females, that's why they get sicknesses. You understand?
And the same thing when a woman went to a man.
And the same thing when
they're not satisfied. See me on TV.
Listen.
I want to sex him.
Brother.
Yeah. You know I'm right, man.
Brother, listen. You had some kind of bad thing with a woman. Did a woman leave you for or something like that?
No, I'm just talking about reality.
No, but why are you talking from experience?
I'm talking about both. Yes.
Are you talking from experience? Did a woman leave you or something like that?
Gentlemen.
No, it's real talk, man.
All right, so let's let the scripture come out. If you're talking from experience, let the scriptures
I
come
wouldn't
out.
lie to you. You're not lying out the book.
that again.
I'm not lying I ain't lying about my experience. Women do what they
Marriage
do.
is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Look how
But
the women leave.
whoremongers and adulterers,
Look how all the women
God will judge.
But whoremongers and
They don't want
adulterers,
to hear that shit.
God will
The women
judge.
don't want to hear that shit. The women don't wanna hear that
Nobody
shit.
don't like to hear that. You don't want to hear that neither.
No, I'm here listening. And I'm right.
Yeah, but you don't want to hear it neither. God won't judge you if you stay in the midst of adultery.
Yeah.
You
But at
understand?
least I'm not faking it.
What do you mean faking
I'm
it?
saying I fornicated. Yes. I had more than one woman and shit like that. Yes.
So what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that, man?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that?
Hey. Sorry to say, I guess I'm gonna start dating my race.
Listen.
Yeah.
Read that again.
Yeah.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
For whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. You understand? Hey, bro, what's your nationality? Are you from Mexico? You know, according to the Bible, you're descendants of the Aztecs. The Aztecs, no? The people in Mexico, they're descended from Aztecs. Huh?
No, I
Hey,
understand what you're saying.
listen, brother, just be quiet, man. Be quiet.
We're all different colors of things.
Be quiet, brother, be quiet. You here to learn. You understand? Just be quiet, man. All right? Read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So if you're a whoremonger,
Am I correct?
or you are adulterous, God will judge you. You understand? You brothers that's out there having sex with different females, without thinking there's no consequence behind that, God is going to judge you.
Right.
You understand? Read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all.
God says that marriage is an honorable thing. But a lot of you brothers and sisters, you'll be talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. The Most High God don't deal with no boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
You understand? God says marriage is an honorable thing. Real.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So God gonna judge you. You brothers that want to have sex with different females, God is gonna judge you. You females that want to run around and have sex with different men, God is gonna judge you.
Right.
You understand?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.